Now, over the past 4 years, we've tried to patch up some of the worst cracks in the system. We made border security a top priority. Today, we have twice as many border patrol agents as we did in 2004. We have more. Boots on the ground along our southern border than at any time in our history. And in part, by using technology more effectively, illegal crossings are near their lowest level in decades. We focused our enforcement efforts on criminals who are here illegally and who are endangering our communities. And today, deportation of criminals is at its highest level ever. And having put border security in place, having refocused on those who could do our communities harm. We also then took up the cause of the dreamers, young people like Tolu who were brought to this country as children. We said that if you're able to meet some basic criteria, like pursuing a higher education, then we'll consider offering you the chance to come out of the shadows so you can continue to work here. And study here, and contribute to our communities legally. So my administration has done what we can on our own. And we've got members of my administration here who've done outstanding work over the past. Few years to try to close up some of the gaps that exist in the system. But the system is still broken. And to truly deal with this issue, Congress needs to act. And that moment is now. This week, the Senate will consider a common sense bipartisan bill that is the best chance we've had in years to fix our broken immigration system. It will build on what we've done and continue to strengthen our borders. It will make sure that businesses and workers are all playing by the same set of rules. And it includes tough penalties for those who don't. It's fair for middle-class families. By making sure that those who are brought into the system pay their fair share in taxes and for services. And it's fair for those who try to immigrate legally by stopping. Those who try to skip the line. It's the right thing to do. Now, this bill isn't perfect. It's a compromise. And going forward, nobody is going to get everything that they want, not Democrats, not Republicans, not me. But this is a bill that's largely consistent with the principles that I and the people on this stage have laid out for common sense reform. First of all, if passed, this bill would be the biggest commitment to border security in our nation's history. It would put another $6.5 billion on top of what we're already spending towards stronger. Smarter security along our borders. It would increase criminal penalties against smugglers and traffickers. It would finally give every employer a reliable way to check that every person they're hiring is here legally. And it would hold employers more accountable if they knowingly hire undocumented workers. So it strengthens border security, but also enforcement within our borders. I know there's a lot of talk right now about border security. So let me repeat today, illegal crossings are near their lowest level in decades. and if passed, the Senate bill as currently written and as hitting the floor, would put in place the toughest border enforcement plan that America has ever seen. So nobody is taking border enforcement lightly. That's part of this bill. Number 2, this bill would provide a pathway to earn citizenship. For the 11 million individuals who are in this country illegally. So that pathway is arduous. You've got to pass background checks. You've got to learn English. You've got to pay taxes and a penalty. And then you've got to go to the back of the line behind everybody. Who's done things the right way and have tried to come here legally. So this won't be a quick process. It will take at least 13 years before the vast majority of these individuals are able to even apply for citizenship. So this is no cakewalk. But it's the only way we can make sure that everyone who's here is. Playing by the same rules as ordinary families, paying taxes and getting their own health insurance. That's why, for immigration reform to work, it must be clear from the outset that there is a pathway to citizenship. If we're asking everybody to play by the same rules, you got to give people a sense of certainty. That they go through all these sacrifices, do all this, that there's at the end of the horizon. The opportunity, not the guarantee, but the opportunity to be part of this American family. And by the way, a majority of Americans support this idea. Number 3, this bill would modernize the legal immigration system so that Alongside training American workers for the jobs of tomorrow, we're also attracting the highly skilled. Entrepreneurs and engineers from around the world who will ultimately grow our economy. And this bill would help make sure that our people don't have to wait. Years before their loved ones are able to join them here in America. So that's what immigration reform looks like: smarter enforcement. A pathway to earn citizenship, improvements to our legal system. They're all common sense steps. They've got bipartisan support. They've got the support of a broad cross-section of leaders from every walk of life. So there's no reason Congress can't get this done by the end of the summer. Remember, the process that led to this bill was open and inclusive. For months, the bipartisan Gang of Eight looked at every issue. Reconciled competing ideas, built a compromise that works. Then the Judiciary Committee held numerous hearings. More than 100 amendments were added, often with bipartisan support. The good news is every day that goes by, more and more Republicans and Democrats are coming out to support this common-sense immigration reform bill. And I'm sure the bill will go through a few more changes in the weeks to come. But this much is clear: if you genuinely believe we need to fix our broken immigration system, there's no good reason to stand in the way of this bill. A lot of people, Democrats and Republicans, have done a lot of good work on this bill. So if you're serious about actually fixing the system, then this is the vehicle to do it. If you're not serious about it, if you think that a broken system is the best America can do, then I guess it might make sense to try to block it. But if you're actually serious and sincere about fixing a broken system, this is the vehicle to do it. And now is the time to get it done. There is no good reason to play procedural games. Or engage in obstruction just to block the best chance we've had in years to address this. Problem in a way that's fair to middle-class families, to business owners, to legal immigrants. And there's no good reason to undo the progress we've already made, especially when it comes to extreme steps like stripping protections from dreamers that my administration has provided. Or asking law enforcement to treat them the same way they treat violent criminals. That's not who we are. We owe it to America to do better. We owe it to the dreamers to do better. We owe it to the young people like Tolu and Diego Sanchez, who's with us here today. Where's Diego? Right here. Diego came here from Argentina with his parents when he was just a kid, and growing up. America was his home. This is where he went to school. This is where he made friends. This is where he built a life. You ask Diego and he'll tell you he feels American in every way except one, on paper. In high school, Diego found out that he was undocumented. Think about that. With all the stuff you're already dealing with in high school and suddenly, oh, man, really? So he had done everything right, stayed out of trouble, excelled in class, contributed to his community. Feeling hopeful about his future, and suddenly he finds out he's got to live in fear of deportation. Watching his friends get their licenses knowing he couldn't get one himself. Seeing his classmates apply for summer jobs knowing he couldn't do that either. When Diego heard that we were going to offer a chance for folks like him to emerge from the shadows. He went and signed up. All he wanted, he said, was a chance to live a normal life and to contribute to the country I love. And Diego, this year, was approved for deferred action. A few weeks ago, he graduated from St. Thomas University, where he was student body president and student of the year. So now he's set his sights higher, master's degree and then law school. So he can pursue a career in public policy, help America shape its future. Why wouldn't we want to do the right thing by Diego? What rationale is there out there that wouldn't want to make sure Diego achieves his dreams? Because if he does, that helps us all achieve our dreams. So in the weeks to come, you'll hear some opponents of immigration reform try to gin up fear. And create division and spread the same old rumors and untruths that we've heard before. And when that happens, I want you to think about Tulu. I want you to think about Diego. And I want you to think about your own parents and your own. Grandparents and your own great-grandparents, and all the men and women and children who came here. the notion that somehow those who came through Ellis Island had all their papers. Wright had checked every box and followed procedures as they were getting. On that boat they were looking for a better life just like these families. And they want to earn their way into the American story.